Fam, I gotta tell you, because normally, I would never find any reason to get unpumped on the 49ers, but this did not Monday. I did not need. I mean, come on, man. Are you serious? I'm sitting there, pick up a notification, beep. Oh, no. Something's wrong with my phone. No. Oh, my God, no. Yes. It's Fred. What? Okay. You know what? You gotta have these Mondays on occasion. You know what I'm saying? At least one Friday. That would probably hit me harder. But fam, a little air dropped out of the joyous sails of the 49ers party ship. Boy, the boogie and party. All of a sudden, Fred Warner, COVID-19. Oh, Fred Warner has been the best defensive performer in camp so far, fam. Now every night the faithful will turn their attention to how long will it be will Fred return to the lineup due to this ridiculous virus. What will the team do to compensate should he not be cleared for Game 1 of the regular season? Also, our team is deep. I just don't want to see the best in any position not be available. Also, fam, Javon Kinlaw, I saw something today that gave me pause. I don't know if you've been looking at it had I not seen the article I was reading, I probably would have thought about it either. But is he going to be ready to go on week 1? That's only 2 weeks away. Okay, let's talk about that. Meanwhile, by the way, Leonard Fournette is available. And you know what I was proud of, though? Fam, I didn't see all over Twitter said, bring Leonard Fournette to San Francisco. I was waiting for it because I'm looking for, okay, where is it? Bring Leonard Fournette to San Francisco. No, don't bring Leonard Fournette to San Francisco. He doesn't fit what we're doing. And you know what? He costs $4 million and he ain't doing nothing. The Jags wouldn't be getting rid of him if he was worth anything. And they're going to waive him. And if they do, you do pick him up, you got to give up a draft pick. No. So, thanks, fam. You know what I'm saying? Don't be, Anyway, let's get right into this because we're running a little late here. Somebody pointed out on the chat. Okay, the good news regarding Fred is that approximately 1/3 of NFL players who have been cleared off the reserve COVID-19 list this summer, it hasn't been much of a problem so far. 33 of 111 players who have been activated off the list spent 4 or fewer days unable to practice or even step inside team headquarters. And Fred was in fine condition. If there's a body that immune system can beat that up, it's got to be Freddie's. That is what I'm going to believe is going to happen with Fred. He'll be right back. But can't ignore that 41 players spent 10 or more days on that list. The game's 13 days away before the season starts, fam. The Jags tackle, Ryan Pope, has spent the most time on the COVID-19 list at 34 days and counting. He's not off it yet. The Niners today announced Fred Warner went on the league's reserve COVID-19 list, so you can start counting any days from here. That announcement comes with a lot of uncertainty, though. A player who goes on the list either has tested positive for COVID-19 or has been quarantined after having been in close contact with an infected person. Teams are not permitted to comment on a player's medical status and cannot disclose whether the player tested positive. This is what burns me up about this. What is the point of keeping us completely informed? I don't understand the danger in that. So we're in the dark about what is really up. And Warner is the third 49ers player to go on the list. Richie James spent 8 days on the list. He's the longest so far. Jeff Wilson was activated off the list after 5 days. And fam, we had 3 people, right? I thought, didn't somebody say Kendrick Bourne? Who was that when they went and visited George Kittle and Trent Taylor? Didn't somebody say Trent Taylor? It was KB that was infected? They don't mention him, huh? Okay. Anyway, league-wide, the average time spent on the list, it boils down to 8.5 days. Damn it. No, he's not going to. Fred's not going to be out 8.5 days. I don't believe that for a minute. Warner's appearance on the COVID-19 list could have an impact on the 49ers' regular season, with the regular season opener, as I mentioned, just 13 days away. Our guys are scheduled to meet the Cards Sunday, September 13th at Levi Stadium. And Fred has been the 49ers' best defensive player in the training camp before his absence, as I mentioned before. Fam, what are you going to do now? You're going to slide if something, and I think I'm knowing Fred's going to be back. I swear, I promise, Fred's coming back. But if he's not, for whatever strange reason, I guess you could slide Quan over to the middle and put Dre back where he was all season. And strong side. It seems like Alshar is winning the battle as far as guys after the first three, right? I don't want to make that plan. What are you thinking? Okay, I'll get to you that. But one more thing I want to ask you about. Whispers of Javon Kinlaw, maybe another Solomon Thomas are already rolling, fam. Damn. Judgments are already underway. Due to JK has done little to impress in his first training camp. I tried to ignore it. I figured, I gave him all kind of reasons. I said, come on, man. We didn't have a regular OTA session and stuff, and some of the stuff that he probably needed to be briefed on and work on some things. But prior to the 49ers drafting Jay Kinlaw, the word on him was that he was a raw prospect who relied heavily on size and athleticism to win at the college level. A training camp is drawing to a close, and thus, for those reports have been accurate and of concern, especially for those who refuse to be patient. I'm going to be patient because that's a big dude. All we got to do is get him right, One of the things that is setting this mild fear off is that one of the clear areas of weaknesses is the interior offensive line of the 49ers, which actually some of us might be able to get through. Because keeping in mind that it has been a brief camp, as I mentioned, but Kinlaw has been almost entirely ineffective against that struggling unit. For starters, the 49ers' first and second string centers are unavailable, leaving their prospective starting right guard Daniel Brunskill to fill in at center. This situation leaves a hole at that position, which has been filled by journeymen like Tom Compton. And if it's not Tom, it's rookie Colton McKivitz. And 49ers also brought in center Ronis Grasu off the street for a backup role. DJ Jones bullies him every time they line up together. But we're talking about a so-so group, and even against that lower quality, a bunch of dudes competition, Kinlaw's production has been pretty quiet. Because I keep waiting for the day the reporters say Kinlaw just ran a mock. We didn't have that day. JK himself would tell you he isn't that good. In fact, even JK is going to say, I'd be lying if I thought it was good. Anyway, I want to laugh, but I'm vomiting it. Oh, God. Hey, when JK wasn't being slapped around by journeymen and rookies, he was being completely dominated by Laken Thomason, who is, of course, a legitimately good player. So for now, what can we expect from JK when he faces up the real tier talents, right? All of a sudden, Solomon Diggs looks like the dude we may need to step up the prayers on, fam. That was supposed to be the competition. It was going to be either J.K. or Solomon T was going to hold it down. He started Solomon T, bring J.K. in and see what he looks like, and vice versa. Start J.K. and bring Solomon T in. But Solomon T is earning praise from the coaching staff for his standout performances in camp so far. But he did that. That's not the first time we've heard that, though. Fellow lineman Davies Street is impressed with his strength. We already know that DJ Jones can be a beast, and some believe the Niners may have won Super Bowl 54 had he been on the field to stop the run. DJ's got to stay healthy, though, because he does somehow find his way out of the lineup on occasion. See, this is the fact. We had the most powerful Iron Man in football, and he left. D-Buck! Niners appear to have the players necessary to fill the gap left by D-Buck, though. It's just going to be about hoping Javon Kinlaw is going to be a big part of that D-line destruction coming up in the days and months ahead. The Super Bowl-ready team has to put the best talent on the field, and there's no time for Kinlaw to actually learn on the job this year, unlike years past. And this speculation doesn't mean It doesn't mean that JK is going to go down the same path as Solomon T and be considered a BUST. I ain't saying that word. Not when I applied to Javon Kinlaw. It's way too early to start talking like that anyway. The great thing about Kinlaw is his humility. Yeah, he knows he's got some things to learn. He's mentioned it. He's talked about it. And I figure he accepts his shortcomings, and he is eager to improve, of which he will. I know he will. He's got Kasurik out there working him. He'll be fine. He's got to get some technique, though. And once you channel, you get all that big strength and power and get a little bit of technique and quickness in his moves, he will be a monster. But until then, we got to rely on other guys, I got a feeling, to start the season. If you're thinking otherwise, let me know. I'd love to hear something positive about this, but I'm concerned about this. Not about Nature 88. Yo, Ronbo incoming. Who? The Niner haters, of course. Are they here? Yeah, I saw a couple of them already. Okay, that's all right. You guys can deal with them both. Hey, Roy Boy, shout out from Coldwater, Michigan. Ronbo Sports, Fred Warner's going to be back and better than ever. Yes! This stupid virus can't stop the Niner Express. Yes! Agree. Ray Jr. says, what's up? It sucks that Fred caught COVID-19. Got to be more careful. This is what I'm wondering. Fred, how did you do that? Where did you go? Kirk the Comedian, what's up? Thanks for what you do, especially these dark times, bro. Wish we could go a day without bad news, but I know you'll give us a laugh, and we appreciate that. Hey, this whole thing is funny, because we're still not going to be stopped. You know, it's just not going to happen. Jay Torres, no, I can't believe this is true. Rich Rivera, hey, what's up, my brother? Stay safe and healthy. Keep the best platform on earth. Oh, thanks, Rich. Fernando Garcia. Hey, a shout out from the 559. Hey, lesson, this is minor setback for a major comeback. I tell you, that word is like music in my ears, man. Now, nothing and nobody can stop us from getting number 6 this year, not even COVID. Yes. And Othello Alfred 21. You know, you got the vowels and consonants there will throw you off. I'm getting it now. I think this is all precaution. I'm not worried. We have Greenlaw and Quan. We'll be fine. I agree. Mark Rich, what's up? Shout out from Texas. Revenge Tour is almost here. Yes, indeed, Mark. David Vielma. Velma. Is it Velma? Vielma? Hey, what's up? From 951 Faithful's Riverside, Cali. See, because I like the thing is we got some linebackers. We'll be fine. I kind of like Alshire. He made a mistake last year that made me mad, but he was pretty good the rest of the time, so, you know. Okay, let's go here and check out what Dollar Bill Will has to say about a Monday. We can't wait to get to Tuesday about. Will, come on in, fam.
Ronbo, what's going on, man?
Oh, Will, man, I was high as a Georgia pine yesterday, man. I was just thinking about how good this team is, boy, and Jimmy G coming around, coaches saying things like he's starting to make quick decisions out there. I said, we got this. Pick up the phone. Fred Warner's COVID-19 list. What? You know, I'm not ready for that, man, especially when you come down like that all of a sudden. And Will, I'm not going to get overly concerned about JK, but I do want to see some progression out of him in the next few weeks. What are you thinking about these matters?
Ronbo, man, you got to relax, man. You got to, dog.
I know. Let me drink this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, these people out here overreacting about Javon Kinlaw. Y'all got to remember, man, this guy haven't had any OTAs, no training, hardly a full training camp, and haven't played in a preseason game.
Very true.
This COVID just threw these players out there, and now they got to rush. They got to rush to keep, to catch on to the season. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've been out. They couldn't do nothing because of the COVID. All the dates for the OTAs and stuff had to be canceled. Mm-hmm. All the dates for the preseason had to be canceled. Preseason had to be canceled.
Right.
I mean, he couldn't do nothing. And I tell you another thing, Ron. This is why everybody's having hamstring issues, because none of these guys had a preseason. None of you guys had a training camp or OTA. That's why IU getting hamstring pulled and Kittle and Juice. You know what I'm saying?
Going too hard without, yeah.
Kyle trying to get basically what I'm saying is the NFL is trying to rush these players to get to NFL playing form for the season. I mean, they can't go through protocols like they do like any other season because this is something that's totally different. I mean, this is just part of an adjustment, and this is what happens when stuff like this happens. You got to make adjustments, and when you make adjustments, you're going to have players pulling hamstrings and players not getting the proper coaching in the right matter of time to have them ready for the season. So this is just a rushing stage. I mean, they rushing these players to get ready for the season because we ain't on to the season start.
We haven't answered. But would it have been a better idea to start on October 13th this year?
To start what?
Get guys back in camp when they did, and go through a normal procession of things activities they do every year. It would have been better sense to start October 13th. And God knows, there may have been more fans. They might have allowed fans in the stands. A lot could happen in 1 month, instead of putting them cardboard cutouts they're talking about putting up in the stands now. I mean, I don't know. Would it have been better to delay the season a little bit?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if it would have made a difference or not. I mean, the president and all these governmental, the CDC and all these, they real strict on this stuff because this is something that's just global wise. This virus is all over the damn place. I don't think it would have made any difference. I believe protocol would have been put in place and everything, so it wouldn't really matter. I mean, like I said, man,
they wouldn't let us train, and if they would have let us train when we started training, because we lost a month, and normally they take a month off. They could have got rid of, so they could have got everything in had they been able to start 30 days later. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be able to take that month off vacation like they get, but
Yeah. And these players have been playing in the NFL for years. Are used to the normal protocol of these training camps. I mean, their body is used to it. I mean, they, like Richard Sherman, all these veterans, man, their body is used to coming in during the summer and getting them, but they couldn't because of the COVID. So now their body got adjusted to it, and that's why guys are getting hamstrings, and that's why rookies coming in getting the bad end of the stick. They gotta get a lot of coaching put into them so they can get ready for the season. So I mean, Kinlaw's gonna make progress, but it's gonna take a few weeks. It's gonna take a few games. But he's going to get there. I mean, the teaching just has to catch up with him. I mean, it's a rush. I mean, they're rushing these guys to get ready for the season, man, because they ain't have enough to go on, to practice with, with the OTAs and training camp. So, I mean, that's how it is, man.
So you predicted Kinlaw shouldn't take. He's gonna. What do you think how do you think he's going to get in the rotation? Because I figure in 2 weeks, wherever he is status-wise with the coaches, it's probably not going to change.
Get to week 6. Give him to week 6 or 7. Week 6, 7, and 8, you should see some progress.
Right.
You should. Give him that. Give him that my time. Yeah. And with Fred Warner, man, I believe Fred is okay. I believe he may have been exposed to somebody with COVID, but they say if he's symptomatic, then he needs 10 days since the positive test, and then 3 more days to get rid of symptoms. And if he's asymptomatic, then he needs at least 5 days since the positive test, and then 2 negative tests to get off the COVID list. So so that's how he got. So that's the protocol he got to go through to make sure to get off the list.
But I think to get back on the field. Well, Will, you know what I wonder about? They've been keeping him out since last week. I was trying to understand the connection. It's kind of a coincidence that he was just out last Friday, and a couple of days they had him on real. Was he saying I don't feel well, or I wonder why? Why did they do that? And it's you need to go in for a test. But they test them every day, though, don't they?
Yeah, they test him every day. I mean, you got like Richard James. Richard James got put on the COVID list July the 27th, and Jeffrey Wilson got put on the COVID list July the 30th, and both of them got off the list August the 4th.
Sure.
So it wasn't nothing but a couple of days. So so I believe Warner is gonna be on the He's gonna be on the field week 1. I tell you
I
that
think
right now.
so.
'Cause
I really
yeah,
does. Come on, man. Y'all can't do that. Fred's got to play.
yeah, even if his doctors or anybody has to tell him that he has to quarantine for 14 days, that's the number of days that you got to quarantine yourself if you got the COVID
That's
or
just a standard.
being exposed to COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, we still got a couple of days after 14 days for the season starts, so he should be straight. Like, he should be on the field week 1 with no problem. So there's nothing to be worried about.
Hey, because I don't feel like worrying about it. So you're good. I'm gonna take your word for it, and I believe it too. I really do. I said, come on, man, you're Fred dude ain't that. He ain't gonna be that sick. And yeah, if Richie James can come back in the amount of time he did.
These athletes, man, they in shape, man. The athletes, man, they can get the COVID, man. Don't even feel nothing. Just like Zeke did. Zeke had COVID. He said he had a cough and shortness of breath for 2 days, and after that he was straight. So
that video, Zeke, but I think it was more the Blizzo than it was anything else. But that video he did, why he did it, I don't know, made it look like Zeke was feeling pain. I said, Zeke, man, what are you doing this video for, man? He was lit. But anyway, I will. I trust you, bro. I know you telling the truth. Fred is going to be back shortly. Kinlaw's going to be a force by week 6, 7, 8. We should be good to go.
Yeah,
right.
Man. Yeah,
right,
we straight, man.
See
all right, man. Shout out to you, man. All right, man.
Well.
Shout out to you, man. Shout out to my TNT fan, man. Player partner Dre, Trey, Big Show, Russo, all them guys, man. Shout out to the Ronbo Sports Fan Club, Cheek, Jersey, Joe, Rico, all them guys, man. Hey, man, Super Bowl 55. Super Bowl 55, biggest appearance to go 49ers versus to be announced. F Tampa Bay. All right, Ronbo.
I will. Oh, God.
Man.
And I see Freddie Gonzalez. Shout out to Tornillo, Texas. Freddie, what's up? And Santana. Santana. And okay, Santana will come back to you, man. As soon as I get a name. These are kind of. Oh, it's Krusty. Krusty, I know you've got some insights on these developments. What are you thinking, Krusty? How you doing, man?
Hello?
Yo, Krusty.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Yeah, Krusty. It's like a Monday I could do without, and every now and then we get those. And, Fred being put on that stupid list. I can't imagine where Krusty, here's the thing. I figure all our players are not running around. I'm talking about wearing the PPE. I'm not wearing the full suit. Don't touch me. Don't breathe near me, okay? Because I'm a football player who gets paid a lot of money, and I'm not missing a game. So I'm thinking, God, guys, please watch it. That crap is everywhere. And, so Fred comes up, he's on the list all of a sudden, right? And now I'm saying, okay, he's going to be back for the game? He's going to be back for the game. I keep telling him, he's going to be back for the game. He will. And you believe that, right?
Right, absolutely. Just because you get put on the list does not mean that you have COVID-19. It means that you may have come in contact with somebody with COVID-19.
Yeah.
So he may just have to, like they said, he may just have to go through 2 more positive. If he comes through with 2 negative tests, he'll be back out on the field in 5 days.
I'm hoping they made a mistake.
Possibly is 10 days, and that's he should be back by the first game. Unless he actually has COVID, we shouldn't actually have to worry about it. Because just because he got put on the list doesn't mean he has it. Just like Richie James, like the previous caller said, Richie James and Wilson came out and they got put on the list, but they were literally they were off within a week. Yeah. So they didn't have it. They just came in contact with somebody.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, there's been the problem with getting all the false positive tests. They had like 70 people go on the list in one day. And they come to find out it was from a testing center in like New Jersey or something like that, and they were all false positive.
See,
because everybody got tested to get it, every one of them was negative.
That's what I'm hoping for this time.
Just go off of that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
And then,
so he should be fine.
Kinlaw. I heard you talking about Kinlaw, and Lakin Tomlinson even came out and said Kinlaw is getting better every day. And that's against him. The only person it sounds like he's having trouble with in camp is Lakin Tomlinson. I heard he's gone against McKibbich, Brunskill. I've heard he's got against Compton. He's beaten all of them. He beat them all back. So my question for everybody is, who, if any, guards are as good as Lakin Tomlinson that we're going to be playing this year?
That's a good point. I mean, Lakin's good.
And, Lakin's good. You're right. He's one of the people that flies under the radar all the time, that never gets the recognition he needs because he's on a good offensive line. The whole goods offense, the only people that get the recognition is when the rest of everybody else stinks, and they're the one good point on the thing. They are so much better than everybody else. Our offensive line has always been good. So, he's going to be lining up next to Trent Williams. Even Trent Williams gave Lakin Tomlinson props this year. He said he should be all pro. Hearing that from Trent Williams is like, man, this guy is a good guard. This guy's good,
He's improved every year, too.
Just because he's losing to Lakin Tomlinson does not mean he's not going to be good for us this season. This is practice. Those are one-on-ones. We can't sit here and just go off of that. Even Nick Bosa came out and said, you can't go off of one-on-one because it's not a real game scenario.
True.
It's not. Because you're not sitting there just trying to, full rest somebody. You could be trying to break two guys apart. You can be getting two guys just holding them there so your linebackers can get to them, so your other teammates can get to them. It doesn't mean just because he can't get past Lakin Tomlinson, and he's trying to push through Lakin Tomlinson, not get past him. And he's getting thrown on his face or stood up or whatnot, talking about how Lakin Tomlinson's pad level so low, his helmet's in his sternum.
I know. Lakin's going to get, once he gets that down, because he's a tall guy with all that size. Once he gets that down, and D-Buck had the same issue when he first came in, because tall guys like that, they're going to have issue with that. So, he'll get it down. It's just a matter of technique.
He'll get it down. I honestly think he's probably going to start the first game. I think he'll probably start. We'll see where he's at. He's the first round pick. And then we'll rotate people in. Because he may start the first game and he may blow everything up. And it'll be like, oh, damn, it's not what we expected. Because camp normally comes up when you hear from these guys on camp or the reporters and everything, they're going to tell you the stuff that you don't want to hear. They're not going to tell you, you always hear negative things about Kinlaw. You hardly ever hear about the good stuff, but every once in a while, one of the reporters will put out the good stuff, like he may have lost to Lakin Tomlinson, but he beat these other guys.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so the losses to Lakin Tomlinson is the only thing that's important? No. It's not just the only thing that's important. So, just like Nick Bosa. Are we worried that Nick Bosa cannot get past Trent Williams?
That's good. I like that example. That is good, Krusty. Yes, that's true.
Just because Kinlaw can't get through Lakin Tomlinson, which he has beat Lakin Tomlinson a couple times. Just because he can't get through him doesn't mean he's not going to be good. Nick Bosa, we saw what he did in games last year, and he was hurt. We haven't seen Kinlaw in a game. Let's see Kinlaw in a game. He may just blow through the offensive line like nothing. These guys don't know what's coming for them. Let's take this negative news that we're getting from the media and use it to ourselves because, not only are we hearing this, but all the other teams are hearing it too. So they're thinking, we're going to single that man. Let's double Nick Bosa. Let's do that. And then Kinlaw might get his sacks that way. He's going to blow that offensive line up. I bet it's going to happen, man. Just like I said. Nick Bosa's having trouble with Williams. Kinlaw's having trouble with one guy on the offensive line. Why are we worried? Because we know what Nick Bosa did last year. We know it.
And nobody's going to do this year already. Because, like you're saying, though, we got a couple of the best offensive linemen in the league. And, of course, to see some of the defenders have a not be able to blow through them is a good thing, actually, because that means we can be satisfied with both sides. It's not consistent, though. Like you're saying, those guys do bust a move on occasion. So, yeah, there's no reason to get too concerned.
And like Nick said, like Nick told Jimmy, his left side's good.
And when Nick comes by and tells Tells the QB this, it's serious. You know what though? Working against
That's
each
right.
other every day is you're gonna have that anyway. I would, I probably don't necessarily want to hear that JK's just running over Tomlinson or anybody else, but I did want to hear that he's winning a lot of the time against the guys like Tom Cochran. I don't know if should McKivitz be stopping because they played at the same time. I didn't want to hear about
Right.
McKivitz putting the stop on him though.
No, he beat McKivitz. He was pushing McKivitz back. Solon Thomas is beating McKivitz. So, that's just saying. McKivitz can get beat.
Yeah.
He's doing good. He's doing better than Compton. He's no Brunskill. We need to get Garland back for center and move Brunskill back to right guard, because if we start off then we'll have a weak spot at right guard at that point until Garland does get back. And then not only that, Brunskill's losing his time right now at right guard practicing.
Yeah, I know that's bothersome, isn't it?
So
yeah.
that hurts. That hurts a lot.
Yeah,
because if Garland comes back, doesn't mean Brunskill's moving right to right guard. He needs to get those practice reps in before he can move Compton out of there.
Mm. It'll be a week anyway. They won't just drop him in all of a sudden. Krusty, this is why. Aren't you one of the people that also advocates that the 49ers go for a center, priority 1, first round pick next year in the draft?
Yes. First round pick needs to be a center. We need a center, or if we can't get Trent Williams, which I don't believe that happens, I think we're signing him. If we can't get Trent, we may go left tackle. But I think we're signing him. So, but yeah, we need a center. We need to draft an offensive lineman first round. Because if you think about it, since Kyle and them have came in, every first rounder has been an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the trenches in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Because you can get everything else in the second round. Look at Debo. I mean, Ayuk is probably going to be the exception, but look at Debo, man. And also Taylor. And Kittle. Yeah. So we're good.
Not only that, the only reason we got Ayuk this year in the first round is because we had 2 first round picks. If not, we would have drafted somebody in the 3rd or 4th round for wide receiver. It's the truth,
I'll bet you're right. If we didn't have 2 first round picks, that's another excellent point. Would that have been the case? I agree. Hey, Krusty, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Yeah. Great stuff, man. I feel better already after talking to you guys, man. I'm telling you right now, man. I'm not worried about Kinlaw.
No, I'm not worried about Kinlaw either. Just because he can't beat Lakin doesn't mean he can't beat everybody else. Lakin's a really good offensive lineman, man.
Because I keep forgetting.
If anything, we just need to look at Lakin sharpening Kinlaw's skills. That's what he's doing. He's helping the man right now. Iron sharpens iron, guys.
It is.
So
there you go. That. Good stuff, Krusty. Got me convincing. Besides, when you're talking about some of the best players in the league, if your rookies get beat up a little bit, it's probably the way it's supposed to be. Hey, Krusty, I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Night. Yes, that's why these conversations are so necessary. If you were like me before we started these topics, you know, this is why we do this. Soothing. It's like a group hug Monday. Santana.
Ronbo.
Hey, Santana, man. It's funny because you figure we weren't going to go all the way forever without something going wrong. We got Fred Warner. They won't say whether he contracted it or was he exposed to it, because they're not allowed to do that, leaving us to sit back and speculate. And then we know that there's a certain time frame for each one of those conditions, or that's each one of those statuses, right? So now we got to start counting. How long are they going to keep Fred out? Is it going to be 5 or 6 days? Is it going to be 1 week? Is it going to be 2 weeks? What are we going to do here? So when you talk about your number one linebacker, the guy with the blue dot on his helmet, come on. No. Is he going to be back? Yes, he's going to be back. And then I'm looking at JK because he's a first-round pick, and we invested that pick in him, and we got to have some production out of him. And then you look at some of the reports out of camp, which, like Krusty said, probably aren't all accurate, that he's not been real beating people up. And some of the people he should be beating up is not beating up. But then maybe not all the time is he losing either, because they're not in there for the entire camp. But Santana, your feeling on this?
Well, Ronbo, how you doing, man? First of all, man.
Yeah, it's better. I've had better days, but I'll be okay. After having these
Right,
conversations, I'm
Ronbo?
cool.
Ronbo, right, man? It was, man, August is just horrible for the 49ers, man. I don't think Fred Warner has it. I believe he might have been maybe in contact with someone that had or came close to it. I don't know. I just don't think he has it. I believe he'll be ready for week 1, Ronbo. If he's I'm pretty sure he'll be back. So
I believe.
So not worried about that. Yeah. Because if he did have it, who else was he in contact with the team? Which we don't want that, So
I know.
Man, Rombo's.
That's the thing. I hadn't even thought about that. You know what? They would have said so today. You know what? Fred will be back next Tuesday. That's 7 days. So 7 days. They announced it on Monday. Because, Santana, next Tuesday, we will start prepping for the Cardinals. He needs to be back. He needs to be back out there getting ready over schemes, traps. What are we going to do here? It's a real yucky situation. He's had enough training, though.
I believe Ronbo, whether he's in practice or not, man. I think Fred Warner's more than ready to go, So I mean, I don't know if I just wish they would let us know if he had it or not instead of just saying, which is kind of, the policy. Well, it is just kind of stupid for them just to just let us know what's going on, instead of giving us like half news and stuff like that and let us speculate into what's going on.
I know.
But
I'm making ourselves crazy. I know, right?
Yeah, but and then Ronbo, I don't know, like all these guys, I think George Kittle has been injured or something like that too during practice.
Yeah.
And all these other guys,
muscle strains.
I don't know.
It's just precautions. I think if they had to play today, they probably could. I don't know about Ayuk.
Yeah, okay,
I don't know how serious his hamstring is, but the rest of the guys. Also, D Ford, I'm not sure about him, but yeah.
I just don't want them to do what they did with Jalen Hurts last year, or the year he got hurt, man. Like Brandon Ayuk, I don't want him to come out a week from now and before we play our first game and say he's out for the season. Knock on wood, but
not happening.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with these guys, man. Do they need to stretch out more? Do they need to warm up a little bit more? Like what's going on, dude? I don't get it, Ronbo.
This is why. You've worked out lifted weights before, right? This is why sometimes I think heavyweight training should probably start to taper off. Because one thing, weights will make you stronger, but they do cause tightness because lactic acid sets in. You can't do, just fluid stretching and stuff like that from, maybe every 2 or 3 weeks. You go in and you had a little heavy, high repetitions with lighter weights. Keep yourself strong, but keep yourself. Man, you got to keep flexible, guys. I don't understand what the coaches know. They think they know what they're doing. So I guess we're good to go. But I mean, come on, man. These pull muscles are bothering me. It's all the time.
I mean, I know for a fact that I've had injuries. What's it called, lifting, but it's because I don't warm up properly.
Yep. Because you don't have time, right?
At the times.
I got an hour to get done with this workout.
Yeah, exactly. It's been those times where I just skip the warm up and I just go into lifting, and those are where the injuries come in. And I don't know if that's exactly what's going on with these players, man, that they're not warming up properly, or I don't know if they need, you know what I'm saying, Ronald? But something needs to be done, man. We can't go with most of our players going down. Like, come on, you got Brandon and you, George Kittle, D Ford, all our top players, unless they're just using that as an excuse to give them some time to rest and have them game ready, But
that's what Kyle said. He said he's protecting Fred from himself because these guys they work hard. I mean, especially Fred, he just busts butt. So make him sit down, chill out, Fred. You're way ahead of everybody, man. I don't want you to get hurt. So
Well, like I said, Ronbo, I'm sure Fred Warner is going to be ready week 1. Keep him in the cage. Let him get angry, and release him week 1 against the Cardinals.
Yeah. Damn,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he'll be back.
Well, hopefully, Ronbo. Yeah, hopefully everything is we can work through everything and work through COVID where we don't have to deal with that throughout the season, But like I said, I think like I said, we'll be back.
We'll be good. And when you got Quan and Greenlaw in there, and it doesn't really matter who plays a strong side, we're good to go. I like to just be able to beat teams up, beat them up. Don't just win. Beat them up. Yeah. I want to see that this year because we got the team to do it now. So
yeah.
It just
Rumble, real quick. What's it called? And I believe like if we get some players missing, if for whatever reason some players do get COVID or whatever and they have to sit out for a couple of weeks, I believe we have the depth to substitute him for a couple of games, But,
I know, Santiago, but don't say that, man. You're talking into existence. Ooh, no,
nah, man, Ronbo.
We're good.
We good. We're gonna be healthy throughout the season, man. I ain't even worried about it.
I know. Santiago, I'm gonna see tomorrow, man. Tuesday Night Raw is gonna be a better day. I just know it. All right, fam.
Yes, sir. Yes,
have
sir.
a good night, Santiago.
All right, man. You have a good
Appreciate you, fam.
You too, man. All right, later, man. Be safe.
Yeah, we'd be all right, But like I said, I like overkill, I want Kinlaw to come in and immediately start steamrolling people with that 325 pounds. I want Fred, Quan, and Greenlaw on the field. That could be easily this year one of the most dominating linebacker crews in the game. So see, I got Nick and D on the edges. I love talking about this team, man, and the strength and power and absolute omnipotence that it could be befalling every team on the schedule. Hey, Jay!
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, I'm just, tripping back here, man, because, today's that day we have to hear about Fred being put on the list. It just sort of it jumped off my phone and hit me in the eye. What?
Exactly.
Not Fred. No. But, we don't know the extent of it. I don't know if he has it, or like we're talking about now, we don't know if he's just been exposed or near somebody who was tested that way. Because, they trace,
I think that's what it was. I think he's smart enough to not just mess around like that,
Yeah, I think so.
Just hopefully, he's fine and he can come out and, play week 1. It's all out. That's what I would like to see.
Because as I say, I figured somebody got tested, a few days ago. Okay, we need to know who you've been around and near for the last week. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, that 49er Fred Warner. We was having dinner or something the other day. Can you imagine some lady, right? And, 49ers Fred Warner? Yep. Okay, we'll contact them immediately. And see, those are the kind of things that I keep worrying about. I don't know how much socializing the guys are doing right now. It's just a scary
I hope
thing.
they just stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused. Not be around a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Because you're already in training camp, so you're around, quite a few guys there, But, I think they're taking a protocol of having the guys, spread it out, not so close to each other. I noticed that they're giving them bottled water instead of, spraying out the, sports bottles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, that would be.
I think he's smart. I think he's smart enough not to be around a bunch of people that, but who knows, it's like you said, you got to have a life outside of football. So
Yeah, no, right? They're entitled
hard,
to do that. Yeah, You can't expect them to
Yeah,
just.
you can get it from somebody, in the grocery store. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? For
and
shopping.
then there's that.
So you never know, or he could have, got it from somebody who works for him. So you never know. So hopefully he's all right and he could play week 1 and and dominate like I know he can, and
And will.
And they're saying he's looking like the best defensive player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
This training camp. So we need Fred Warner out there. You know what I'm saying? He's our quarterback on the defensive side, so we need him out there. You know what I'm saying? Just as much as we need Jimmy and all the stars that we have. We need them all on the field. So I hope he's all right, and I just hope he just, take precautionary about this and, learn his lesson off of this and keep it moving.
He may be back at the end
be
of the
all
week.
right.
He might Sunday might announce Fred Warner
yeah.
comes off the COVID-19 list. Yes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And we're done with that stuff. I expect that next week. You know what though? Here's the thing: Kinlaw has become a question mark. Only because of what we're seeing in camp, which is probably not a good indicator, because camp has been very short and abbreviated, and also some of the training that the rookie needed, he missed out on. And so he's just now starting to get adjusted to the NFL speed and stuff like that. Are you concerned about Kinlaw? Do you think he's going to be okay? Or are you going to Solomon
I think he's
T?
going to be good.
Yeah. So.
I think he's going to be all right, because I think what it is, he thought he was going to come and bully these grown men because he did it in college football. So,
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought Clowney was going to dominate in the NFL, and that just don't translate in the league sometimes. People's skills that don't translate in the skill. So he just got – but I know he's going to be all right. I think, he's got enough veterans around him, good players around him. They could coach him up, good team, good coaches. You know what I'm saying? He got Robert, who's a great coach. You know what I'm saying? He's got Kyle as a great coach. So they're gonna have him ready week 1. Best believe that. I guarantee he's gonna come out. He's gonna have a good ass game. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people gonna underestimate this man. I think he's gonna do what he need to do. You know what I'm saying? He's hungry. I think he want to be a great player. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta see him on the field, see how that translates. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to talk him down.
Here's the thing, Jay. He does have to change his whole way of thinking. This is the only thing that I'm thinking about that does concern me. Here's a guy that used to run over people because I'm big, strong, and I'm better than any of these dudes out here. Why? Because they can't do a thing with me. Right. Now, like you said, you're throwing around. You're working with grown ass men now, so you got to use a little technique sometime. A little style. Yeah. You still got that size. You can use that to your advantage. But let's work on these techniques. How fast can you catch on is my question.
I think he needs to learn, more on the hand technique. You know what I'm saying? Where he can grab the offensive lineman, and they say it's like just taking him to church and reach to the ceiling.
That size, you grab him. Just get out the way. Boom.
Yeah.
That's what he should be doing.
I think. Yes. So I think he's going to be all right. I think, he's got a lot of pressure on him, too, because you got to think about it. He's replacing Deep Ford, the Forrest Butler. So you know what I'm saying? So we just got to remember he is a rookie and he's learning, you know what I'm saying? So we got to be patient with him as well. He's a rookie. So he's going to make some rookie mistakes, but, long as he's progressing and he is, still, learning and getting better as the week go by, then we could kind of see what kind of player he is. We got to see a few games in him to see where he's at. But I think he's going to be all right. I think, he's doing his thing. I heard he's doing real good in camp. And
Just got to be patient with him. Let him come along. Because here's the thing. I don't want to see the 49ers draft and have to go back to get a D lineman next year. You're not gonna let me go
No, no.
alone.
They,
No. We need an offensive lineman.
they was,
I need a center. I need a guard center that's pretty good at both.
yeah, yes, we do. And I feel like, we're going to do that. So I ain't worried about it too much, Ronbo. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of defensive players that can pick up the slack too. So they can bring him on slowly. He just can't be too slow. You know what I mean? He's gotta. I'm just saying, because if you're the number one pick, you gotta show that. You know what I'm saying?
In fact,
that's why we're so hard on Solomon Thomas, because
he took too long. I want to see Laken Tomlinson, and I want to see Laken, and I want. And I don't know if they probably don't have the strength afterward. After practice, I need a half an hour. Laken work with JK. You guys just go back and forth for a few minutes, take breaks, whatever you got to do. We got to sharpen him up. The best way he's going to get sharpened up is with you in his face all day.
Extra reps.
Yeah.
And if he can stay after practice and learn extra reps and learn techniques, go in the film room, watching other players who's doing a great job in the league, learning techniques, and put your little spin. Put your little spin on it. Put your flavor in it. You go and learn film.
Have Armstead coaching.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Jay, we're going to go. I'll see you tomorrow night on Raw, okay?
All right, Ronbo. Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, fam.
Thank you for the platform, brother. You have a good night.
You too. Night, Jay. Yes. And wait, now here's the guy. I know Dion is not going to pull no punches. That's what I like about when D calls in. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help him, D. D, get in here.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, all right. I didn't need to hear about, and I'm sure he's going to be okay. He's a powerful dude. It's going to take more than COVID to bring Fred Warner down. But my only problem is how long it's going to be before they get him back out there. And Dave, reflect upon some of the conversation that's going on around Ninerville about Javon Kinlaw.
Well, as far as Fred Warner, I'm not worried about that, man. Let me explain something to y'all. I've done a nice little bit of research on my own about this whole COVID situation. It affects everyone differently.
Yep. And
if you notice one thing, the only athlete in football that I've heard of getting hit with COVID and actually getting hit hard with it was Von Miller. And Von's actually a very stout and in-shape guy. So that tells you it just hits people differently. This didn't hit Fred, and Fred possibly was just around somebody who had it rather than him having it himself. So there's no need to panic. There's no need to be worried or any of that stuff. Fred's going to be fine. They'll test him a couple times. He'll be out there for week 1. It doesn't make a difference. It's not like we're going to cut him because he got COVID.
Oh, God.
It's like nothing's going to happen.
No.
Yeah, so people so if anybody's out there tripping out or freaking out, people relax. Like, you have to understand, COVID hits people differently. And the one thing I can tell you is, as long as you're a healthy person, generally healthy, and you don't really do anything, and your health is not in jeopardy with underlying medical conditions, you're going to be fine, okay? You're going to beat it. You got to think about it. They're not really out there giving you medicine. They just tell you, okay, you have it, go home, come back in a few days, and we'll test you again. Then randomly you don't have it. So that tells me that your body is doing what it needs to do. Scientifically, your body will beat out a virus.
Exactly. And then these guys have pre-existing conditions because if they did, they wouldn't have passed the physical to play football. Yeah.
Exactly. And if they did, then they would have done the right thing. They would have opted out like Travis Benjamin or Sean Coleman or whoever. And then as far as like what I'm hearing about Kinlaw is just going to take a little time to develop. I told you that the last time I talked to you about Kinlaw, Ronbo. It's going to take him a little time to develop. I say by at least next year he should be more understanding of how it was. I was reading an article today from, I think, like 49ers Web Zone where they were saying basically the scouting on him was in college he used his bullying and athleticism to be able to create a name for himself, but that will not work in the NFL. And we all know that. But you think about it, you have all those dudes on the defensive line who have the knowledge to be able to give to him, and then at the same time, if you heard him in his press conference, as he said, D4 had been putting him up on game. So, I mean, that's a constant thing, you know what I'm saying? So it will take him time to develop, but I would say probably 5 sacks is a good year for him because he's going to be rotating in and out. He's not going to be a starter. I don't think he's going to start. I think they'll start someone else in there. They'll probably start Solly and DJ Jones on the inside and have Nick and D as our edge rushers and continue to rotate people in. If you think about it like this, what we're doing is we are doing the same thing Steve Spagnuolo used to do when he had the Giants on that run where they had those 2 Super Bowl wins. You're rotating in fresh linemen constantly. So nobody's tired. They're just coming off the edge or coming up the gut, and they're just rolling, and they're able to give full effort. Why? Because they're not gassed. As long as they're healthy, you can continue to rotate a line like that. So it doesn't – I'm not going to be too worried about Kinlaw. Some players take time to develop. It is what it is. Defoe came in, and he was a more polished 3 technique. We understood that. But, I mean, not everybody's going to come in and just be a spectacular star off the bat. But that doesn't mean I want to sell him short and say he doesn't have raw talent. There are some guys in the league you can't just bull rush, and they just don't know what to do with that young power.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But what does that do? What does that do to a guy like Javon Kinlaw? Does it frustrate him? Does he lose confidence? I want him to still be able to, because there are some guys he's going to steamroll and not have to use a lot of technique. But some guys, it's going to require some skill.
Yeah, from what I understand from his press conference and from the way that he spoke, it's like if I'm losing, that means I'm learning. So I'm going to pick the brain.
You got the right attitude, though.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm going to pick the brain of the guy that I'm losing against and figure out how to do it. Yes, Nick Bosa didn't beat out Trent Williams most of training camp. It's Trent fucking Williams, people. What do you expect? You think Nick Bosa finna come off after one rookie year just because football's in his blood and some people say he's been rushing the passer since in the womb? No, this is Trent Williams, a 7-year vet, and he will handle you.
First
so don't
ballot,
think that you're gonna
Hall of Famer, most likely. I mean, Williams is bad, dude.
Man, I mean, he's good. And then another thing I had to put in here, but I heard Jordan Reed have his interview for the first time the other day, right?
Yeah.
Ronbo, if you don't know who this dude is, look him up. He's an artist. His name is Anderson .Paak. And he's dope, man. He's got like a smooth, laid back kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? But the way that Jordan Reed sounds just like Anderson .Paak. He has you rolling, man. I'm sitting there thinking he's about to go, yes, Lord. Like he sounds like the dude. He sounds like that artist. But Jordan,
and the funny thing about did you see Jordan's face before they asked him his first question? You know how sometimes they sit there and wait till they can adjust the system so you can see the reporter on the screen? Jordan sitting there like, what y'all gonna ask me? Jordan looked like he was ready to jump into an attitude, you know? I was laughing at Jordan's face.
I mean, you got to think about it. They don't ask him all the obvious questions. Do you ever want to retire from football because of the concussions? Do you think about this? They're always going to ask you all the dumb questions that you know they're going to ask. Just like when they had Jet on.
Right, I was
one of the reporters,
same thing. McKinnon had that same face on. Here they come.
Here they come with the bullshit. Oh, yeah, my knee is busted again. I'm not going to be able to make it. He didn't heard so much about it. It is what it is. At this point, everybody that we have right now is going to be ready for week 1. I can tell you that right now with all confidence. There's nobody else that's going to have any problems. The reason being is because they're just holding them out. They're basically saying, guys, chill out, get your treatments. Let us make sure that you're loose and ready. And when you come out that tunnel on week 1, even though it'll just be some cardboard cutouts in the stadiums, because they are doing that, guys.
They are.
About $150 each. But I mean, if you're going to
they must look real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. We're running over time, but listen, good stuff, dear. I'm glad you got in tonight because I love hearing your opinion. When the wind is blowing one direction, D not necessarily is going to do that, but that was enlightening and also encouraging. Your feeling about Kinlaw. I think most of us do believe that, but we're snake bit from Solomon T. So you do worry. So the first round pick is always scary. So, but we could. We'd be all right.
Always.
Yeah.
But hey, I
Yeah.
appreciate the platform. I appreciate what you do. Continue to do what you do, baby.
Thanks, fam.
Got much love for you, man. If you're listening,
Thanks, D.
hit the like and subscribe button. If you're watching, you know what I'm saying? This is the best damn sports show out there. And, once again, if you are not a fan of the 49ers, go ahead, come on in, because you ain't got a platform like this. You don't have a Ronbo. And your team sucks.
And they're just
go
screaming for
on,
attention, talking all kind of poo-poo. Yeah, beat him up, chat. Beat him up. And click on D while you're at it. Deon Johnson, he's a brilliant man when it comes to football, and you need to hear what he's talking about. He's got content rolling. I'll see you tomorrow then.
All right, Ronbo. Have a good evening, brother.
Do, fam. Thanks. Night. Yeah, see, D is that voice of reason. I do enjoy. Even though there are times when both Mel and I do think he goes too far, but we still you gotta respect that. He's on target tonight. I like that. And John V.
Ronbo, what's happening, my man? How you doing?
John, I've seen better days. I really did not appreciate. You know how that thing where you ever go swimming and the pool, you didn't read the sign. Usually this says heated pool or what. It's like you run off, you just got this hotel, you don't know anything about it. You go jumping in the pool without putting your toes in first to see if it's cold or not. You jump in there and that ice water hits you, and you can't wait to get out of that pool. And I'm sitting there. But I saw my phone and I went, no. But yes. But you know what? Now that we've had this talk tonight, I'm okay. He'll be back soon. He's not going to be out any length of time. By next week, he'll be back on the field getting ready for the Cardinals game. And also, and you know about...
Yeah, we don't really know if...
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and you know about Javon Kinlaw, the conversation we're having about him tonight, so we can jump on that as well. But go ahead.
Well, we have no report really how he's feeling. We really don't know if he's feeling any of the symptoms of COVID, if the NFL's tests are false. We really don't know any of the details about it. So I'm kind of hoping that we get a little bit more into it. Right now, they're just following protocol, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, you're on target. Yeah, it's true.
All right. So and as far as Kinlaw, I know people are worried about this kid, Ronbo. I mean, what's your take on it? How do you feel about him? We won't know until we see him, right?
Yeah. See, and some of those reports could be a little skewed the wrong way just for impact. If you want to get people to read your article, you scare them and you tell them that Kinlaw is having issues.
He's a rookie, and he's not for nothing. He's on a line of gladiators. I mean, he's on the best defense. I mean, sure, he's going to look out of place. He hasn't been tested yet, but I'm sure after a few minutes in there of getting shoved around, I was just having this conversation with a buddy of mine. I think he's going to figure it out by the second half of the game. What if I'm wrong? What if he finds himself in a nice battle and he's shoving and he's getting through? Ronbo, I mean, all we can ask the kid is to muscle. Just muscle, man. Use your fundamentals, brother. I mean, this is what you're training for, I'm not worried about him. I'm more concerned about how many other guys may have been exposed to Fred Warner, and if this is going to trickle down one more. I'm worried about it. So that's my only concern.
But John, I think they test everybody daily. So if everybody tested out okay, if there was anybody else in that, I don't know how what are the criteria? I think if anybody else had been exposed to Fred, he'd have to tell. And then again, Fred may have said, I don't know. Everybody else tested out fine today. And my boy Greenlaw and everybody else, and I'm hanging out with them all the time. Quan's fine. So they run those tests daily. There's no day when you miss one.
Yeah.
So I only wonder how those
I
tests
heard
are really
Kyle's
good.
report.
Yeah.
I heard Kyle's presser today where, you let your guard down for, just for a few, and the next thing you know, you get around some family and, one thing leads to another. But You're probably right, Ronbo. It's probably all just, the media is skewing this,
Yeah.
the other way for a headline. So
Yeah, because Bleacher Report knows they got like every 49er that saw that click hit it, right? Because I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, well, I couldn't get there fast
Yep.
enough, right? And then they don't give you enough details for you to draw any conclusions. You just keep guessing and keep guessing. And of course, human nature, we really appreciate, we have a relationship with this team. We, of course, conclude to the worst possible scenarios like I went through when I was with myself and my own thoughts. So I said, oh, come on, man. Let's get on tonight and talk to everybody else about this. This is not
Yep.
as dangerous as it sounds, more than likely.
yeah, Ronbo. I mean, we were out school shopping for the kids. My man Callie Young, shout out to my boy. He sends me a Twitter message, says Fred Warner got tested positive for COVID. I hadn't heard yet. I almost beat the shit out of a mannequin at the store, Ronbo. I was so upset. I couldn't believe it. But
I couldn't do anything but sit down, and then I went down, slid all the way to the floor. But I said, you know what, this is... I was... John, you know what? No matter how much we brace ourselves, as long as that creepy thing is rolling around, it could happen anytime. I'm already I keep telling myself, okay, no, it's not going to happen to the quarterback. It's not going to happen to Nick. D Ford's not going to get this. DJ Jones, these guys are not going to get this. Certain guys cannot get this. It's a terrible way to think because you don't worry if Dante Pettis gets it, right? I'm kidding. That was wrong. Listen, let me take that back. That was stupid. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I'm just saying, your most important players, you don't want anything to happen to them, right? So, you start looking at your lesser players and you think if you have to make a sacrifice in that direction, but that's wrong too. John, I want to get the jury to not don't forget about that statement. I didn't say it.
oh, Ronbo, it's all good, man. It's all good. We can have some fun. But yeah, this is this COVID thing, Ronbo. It's rearing its ugly head again, brother, and it happens to be in the Niners side of the ball too. Damn it, man. We can't catch a break, dude. We cannot catch a break.
It's okay because everybody else is up against the same monster that we are. So, it just, who's going to be the luckiest? So I think we're okay. We've only had 3 guys. There's other teams that are really going through it. They got a guy in Jacksonville that's had it for 34 days. Now, he's really sick, right?
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
And then we have Fournette out there, and Niner fans, get him!
Did you see any?
Fournette's available, get him!
I looked through Twitter. I didn't see anybody. I said, okay, I'm so proud of Niner Empire today. Don't start with bringing Fournette to San Francisco. You saw some. I didn't see anybody.
Oh, my God, I saw it all day long.
Oh.
I saw it all day long, Ronbo. I knew it was coming, man.
I must
knew
be
it was
down on
coming.
my feed because
I
I
just
keep looking
knew it.
down, man.
Anybody, Ronbo, anybody with a name that we've heard of in the last 4 seasons, if they're available, Niner fans are trying to plug them in anywhere. Get him! What are we doing? Get him! Man.
John, if it was Zeke Elliott over, what's his name, over in New Orleans, okay. Man, come on now. John, we're out of time. I'm going to see you tomorrow, okay?
You got it, Ronbo. See you, brother. Love you, man.
Thanks,
Love everything you do for us. Thank you for everything.
Fam. Appreciate
Stay
that,
safe
too.
out there, Ronbo.
You too, John.
My man. Good night, brother. Take care.
Night, John. Yeah. Well, man, we're going to get through this together. You know why? Because we got each other. And we've also got Joseph Smiley and guys like Pat Mahomes boy. See, these guys are guys that, they act like they don't like us, but the only reason they're over here is because they do. Sick. Ellis, what's going on? Ellis.
Yo.
What's that sound? Ellis, you got a feedback going on there. You got a speaker on?
Yeah, I had you on speaker. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. What's up, man?
You got to mute that out. Yeah, Ellis, tonight we're crying. No, I'm crying about Fred. And I would go ahead
Fred.
and man up and act like I can handle it, but I'm not handling it. I do not appreciate Fred Warner being on that list.
Right.
And and the conversation going around in Kinlaw is making me think more than I want to think. I think this is just the anxiety before the season. I probably wouldn't react to this way a few weeks from now. But the current situation has got me concerned. About Fred, what are we going to do if he misses opening day? Is that going to hurt the morale of the team? Will the Hot Boys be able to continue to function? Maybe a little less, but still function enough to stop the Cardinals? And also you got Javon Kinlaw. Everybody pretty much believes this is something he'll grow out of. What are your feelings?
Well, I wasn't as excited as a lot of our other guys were about the Javon thing, just because of different concerns and stuff. Hopefully whatever's going on, he'll be able to overcome. But it was just he took a break. What was the break for? Was it something going to injury? I know they're kind of being a little secretive right now with talking about what's happening with certain players. So we kind of like we're getting misinformed about what's going on. And if it's just saying, oh, it's a rest day, and then if Kyle and the team doesn't really they're not obligated to really tell us what's going on, then they're gonna keep it behind the scenes. And he's got that pre-existing issue with the knee, man, that we've all been made aware of. So I hope this isn't the early signs of that, because it's way too damn early to be having that go on.
Season even started yet?
Way too damn early to be having that go on. Yeah, we haven't even got it going yet. We're talking about replacing the forest and all these other things, and that's kind of like it's a bit shaky in that area. So hopefully it's not nothing too concerning. I feel like he'll become more acclimated. He needs to be coached up a little more, and it's going to take him a little bit more time to get familiar, with the defense and being able to really, hone in his craft, which is expected. But as far as the injury thing, what are we going to do about that? There's not nothing at this point, since we already got the trade. We got him now. I mean, we got the player. I mean, we got the pick, so there's nothing we could do about that at this point, man. We just got to try to roll with it when it comes to Javon. The Fred thing, I mean, what is it, up to 8 days or something? Or whatever. How many days is he going to be off the
different diagnoses
for?
Warrant different times. I'm not sure about that. I do know Richie came. Well, Wilson came back in 5 days. Richie came back in 8. 8 is the highest. Yeah. Richie got back in 8, so I figure Fred's gonna be somewhere between 5 and 8, right? Just from what's already happened. So let's get Fred back in next Sunday. I want him to get ready for next week. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Fred's got to get back on the field Monday morning of next week.
I think the only thing that we can look at positively is that Fred is already a player, and he already kind of knows what to do. He's already he's already been doing really well, so we don't have to be worried about him not really being in the spin of things. Though it might take him some time, of course, to get in reps wise if he hasn't been doing anything actively. But at least he's not like a rookie who's not even familiar, that we were looking to utilize, or that we need. That's a necessity at this point. He's kind of already in his he's already been in proven at this point. We just need him to get right back and, fall back in line where he was at, as, one of the leaders on the defense. It's unfortunate. I don't think it stops here. And I hate to even say that. We're probably going to be having a few disappointments and different things going on this season. Who knows if we're going to even get a full season in, man, at this, no. I don't know. I'm just hopeful that we can get through the damn season. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I just want us to be able to get through the damn season at this point. It's something, it's experimental, kind of like what they're doing with the bubble in the NBA. You know what I mean? All this stuff is experimental until things get so bad to where they have to shut it down, like the MLB and all of the other sports, around the world that are going on nationally. But what else do we have? We said Javon, we said Fred, and what else do we have on the show?
Well, are you delighted with the fact that we haven't heard the end of it yet, but till 4 o'clock? Oh, the time's already over. Yeah, you got Leonard Fournette has been a problem child for the last 2 seasons. And still, I didn't see anybody, because I keep scrolling down on my Twitter feed, because usually that's where you get things like that. I didn't see anybody saying something about, get 49ers, what are you waiting on, John? Get Fournette. I said, boy, if anybody says that, I'm going down to Twitter. I'm already mad because Fred's out. If I see one dude, man, I'm gonna get on that conversation and say how I feel about that. I didn't see anything, So I was delighted. I said, 49er fans, nobody's asking for Fournette. Alice, how do you feel about Fournette?
He was a beast coming out of college, and he was doing, he was doing his thing on, a little bit here and there on the Jags. But I don't think that is, unless we can get him for a little bit of nothing. I don't think it's. No. I mean, we got rid of Javon Ahmed, and that was a pretty solid pick and a solid player. To make room, and we brought some other guys, some no-name guys to make room, and we got rid of Salvan. So I don't see us picking up a running back. We're already deep in that room. I'm not against him as a player or anything like that. I think, he's going to – I just hope he doesn't come into the division where we're at. Shit, the Seahawks might pick him up. You know what I mean?
Well, no, you know what?
Imagine.
You got to give up a draft pick. I just realized something, though. You're right. If anybody – it would be them Hawks. He fits what they like to do. He's a gap dude. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Just like Turbin and all them other guys, all those other running backs they had. He's like a twin of those guys. You know what I mean? It's size wise and what he likes to do. As far as running, and his qualities and everything. He just
physical
fits
force.
Their scheme a lot better. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But he's a go player. But I just don't think that with the running back room that we just, already kind of acquired all these guys we built up, and us getting rid of Salvan Ahmed, I don't see that as something that we'll do. And Jermichael Hasty's been looking really good too.
True. Fournette is not what you call a zone stretch guy. So yeah, he's a north-south guy. I mean, pure north-south guy too. So
right.
We had that. All right. Ellis,
we'll
good
see what
stuff,
happens.
fam. As per usual, love your perspectives on everything.
Oh, thank you, family. Thank you. Likewise. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe to the Ronbo Sports channel, man. And when we coming back, Wednesday, Thursday, what we doing?
No, let's go ahead and come back tomorrow now because it's Tuesday. We got to do Tuesday Night Raw and see what happens next.
Oh, okay. Tuesday Night SmackDown, huh?
I'm sorry, Tuesday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. Tuesday Night SmackDown. I get my wrestling dates wrong.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good, family. Much love. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Yeah, I was saying back at you, fam.
Have a good one.
Good night.
All right. Peace.
Yeah. And Eduardo de Dios, a player must quarantine 5 days, no symptoms. So there you go. So you know what? As I said, Richie got back in 5. And then there was, of course, Richie got back in 8. And who else do we have? Two guys, 3 guys, brother and Fred. Anyway, Richie was 8. Who was in 5? Anyway, somewhere between 5 and 8 days, right? So it's either 5 or 8, whatever. But it ain't gonna be 10. IB.
Ronbo. What's going on?
IB, it's that Monday that we just didn't need. But Fred has entered the list of those who have to go through the protocol. I'll be so glad. You know what? This time next year, I'm hoping, IB, that we can look back on 2020. Hey, man, remember that COVID madness, man? Boy, it's getting involved in everything. Got people walking around hiding and scared. And now we can just look back and say, whew, glad that BS is over. So, I'll be glad when that time. I can't wait for that moment, IB. But in the meantime, Fred is on the list. And I said, you know what? Good thing we picked up Quan Alexander when we did. We have a veteran in that middle with somebody correct you about it, green dot on his helmet, so the coaches could communicate with him and he'll understand what to do. And then you got Dre Greenlaw, who's looking really good. I got faith in Dre. I got Quan and Dre out there. I'm fine. But why not have my almost guaranteed Pro Bowler out there with all that skill? Oh, yeah. It's all right. We be good. So, but how are you feeling about that, man? We gonna be okay?
Yeah, man. Fred's situation is what it is. I mean, all I heard was he's on the list. That doesn't mean he tested positive. I mean, I think that at the end of the training camp or whatever, a lot of players who've been away from their families and things were heading back home to pick up people or to be back around their loved ones for a first time in a while. So who knows what happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could have been somebody within his circle, or plus they got their own protocol. So Kyle's already said that everything ain't gonna be disclosed truthfully to everybody. So I think we're making a little bit too much out of it. Everything is all right, until there's more health reports saying that he's in a hospital or something like that. I don't think we worried about it.
Wait, IB, you heard a report saying that Fred was in the hospital?
No, I said unless we hear something like that.
You scared me. I missed the word.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. We making too much of it. That's all.
Probably.
But I think we having a good training camp, man. It's a lot of what ifs and what could be is going on here, man. A lot of positions that's battling that we did not see about to happen. This Kinlaw situation, I think that's another issue where we're over exaggerating. And first and foremost, I want to say this though, man. Anybody who plays football knows that it takes a while for your body to get into actual football shape. You can be in physical shape, but that don't mean you're in football shape. Because when you're in football shape, that means your body is capable and able to take hits. And when your body takes hits, your flesh and your muscles retain water. They swell up a little bit. And if you're in shape, you don't get pulled hammies and you don't get dehydrated as quick. But if you're not into football shape, then you get muscle strains and things like that. But see, that's for the guys who play sports. They should know that, and I think we should just relax a little bit. Even Trent Williams, if you watch Brick, you saw him breathing heavy. And we saw him in tremendous shape before he got to camp. It's a complete difference, man. Your body has to be able to take contact and or combat. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta relax and let's see what's up with some of these guys, man. Hey, what's up with Pettis, man? You know what I'm saying? it's looking interesting,
I mean, you talk
man.
about it. Talk about it, because you know what? Pettis has been looking like he's going to be a complete stud this year, man. This
is what we
Solomon T, which is a good thing.
This is what we wanted. We complained all off season. Oh man, we didn't draft any defensive backs. We didn't draft any safeties. Now we got a serious issue in the secondary here. We don't know who's going to be around because we got too many damn players, man. So, for real, I mean, it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. I think there's a healthy competition between Kyle and Salah, and I'm looking forward to seeing what those two geniuses can do this year, man, because they got a lot of players, man. And hopefully, I don't know who. I think Kyle said it. Hopefully, some of these players that we do have don't get too much beyond themselves and have an issue with playing on the bench a little bit. I know any and everybody would love to get out there and start in this offense or this defense.
You should be thinking that way anyway while you're working out. Always thinking yourself as a starter.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but these guys, our coach's philosophy is not so much about who's starting. It's about who's capable of being ready. Who's able to come in at any given moment and help our team. You know what I'm saying? So I think the flexibility, I've been saying this for the last few weeks, man, the flexibility of being able to, and I like Kyle's idea because it's kind of like having 57 or 58 players, you know what I'm saying? Instead of coming into the season with 55 on the active roster, we got, if we can manipulate that practice squad, we are able to bring people in on a Wednesday and they can play Sunday or Thursday. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's different. That's a big factor that's going to play into this year. Anybody that's truly with the system is gonna want to stick around.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And you could be relegated to the practice squad. Are you okay with that? The salary is a problem with the practice squad, but they should be able to work around that, actually. We'll see.
Well, but the thing about that is, we're a Super Bowl team, and we're trying to not only get back to that, but I think we're tired of rotating players in and out every year. We've said it last year, and you can tell because we brought back not only the core, but we brought back 18, 19 players from last year.
Yeah.
That's more than the core. You know what I'm saying? That's your front, your front office and everybody working. Huh?
I think it's more than that, actually. Because, it's all about continuity. When you get a team that can work together without having to think about it, get used to each other, of course you're going to be much better. The linebacker crew's already said they're back a lot faster than last year, and they were fast last year. This is why, I cannot wait to see this team.
We got a lot of talented guys. We got a lot of talented guys that signed 1-year contracts going into this season, man. And anywhere else, they may have signed a 3-year contract or you know what I'm saying, something else. So this year is the all due tells for us. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, even though it's a little flaky with this COVID situation, but if they're going to allow football, then, hopefully we have a great season. I believe we will.
There you go. All right, Abby. I'm going to look for you tomorrow on Raw. And I keep getting
back on Tuesday.
Even though I like Raw the best. I'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. It's all good. Appreciate the platform, Ronbo. You already know.
Thanks, Abby.
Hey, and I want to say rest in peace to Coach John Thompson, man. That touched my heart right there, man. I'm a big Georgetown Hoya fan, man. So 2020, I don't even want to remember this one, but it's going to be hard to forget it.
A lot of famous people left us. All right, fam.
A lot of people, period, bro. Yeah, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too, fam. Night, IB.
All right.
Hey, and good night to the kids. I know somebody's listening. I see you.
You probably right, too. Yeah, all right.
Night, IB.
Have a good one. Yep.
You too. Hey, Harold. Wait. I saw this. I had to laugh. Jose Escobar asked the question, what position does Fournette play? Jose, I want you to go look it up. You're going to love it. Leonard Fournette, You're going to laugh. All right. Hey, Harold, unless you're kidding. Jose's probably kidding. Harold.
What up, Ronbo?
Harold, man, we're just sitting back here ruminating over the fact that we got a guy that got COVID this close to the opening day, which makes it more dramatic. If Fred had got this like a month ago, okay, fine. He'll be right back. But I don't want to hear any more of this between now and opening day. And this is too close for me, right? So it sort of slapped me down to the ground. I couldn't handle it. So I'm just wondering, what are your feelings on it, Harold? Fred got to go through this for a few days. And then there's talk that is Javon Kinlaw going to be a project that's going to take a little longer to get involved in the 49ers defense. Being a Super Bowl ready team, we don't really have time for him to learn on the fly. He's got to be ready to go now, or at least close to being ready to go. Is he going to be able to cross that line?
I think Kinlaw's gonna be all right, man. Let's give him some time, man. He's going against Lincoln Thompson, who's pretty good, pretty good guard, man.
Yeah.
Let's give him some time. Let's see him. We're judging him before he even plays a game now. So we're getting too many reports from practice. Let him play a game first before we start saying he's a bust or he's gonna take some time or he's gonna be a project. Let's let him play first. And
then you come up with those, yeah. Because it's a little unfair to make that judgment right now. I agree.
Yeah. And then as far as Fred goes, man, it's the wrong time, but I still think he's got enough time to recover and be back for week 1. It sounds like everybody Richie James came back quicker than the 2 weeks. He should be back in time. But ain't it crazy, bro? Ain't it crazy, Ronbo? Like, Akello, both his hamstrings are okay. You know, like CJ Beathard, his ankle, CJ Beathard didn't twist his ankle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even
why
COVID
are
doesn't
the
like
stars
him.
getting hurt?
You know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What's going on?
I gotta stop joking about that.
Kevin,
I agree. It's always
Kevin
that
White,
way.
he's all good. Kevin White's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing? What's going on?
And that's saying something, because Kevin White is never healthy. He's even at home watching TV, coming up lame. You know?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I've never understood that type of thing. It happens all the time. The last person you want to see missing, and that's going to be the guy. We got Boson sitting around with an aching leg. Oh, man. He's not serious.
We got both DNs. Both DNs is hurt. Both DNs is hurt, man. Come on.
You know, it's not serious, but I don't want it to be at all. That's the thing, you know. Well, we're just, precautionary measures. Are you serious, guys? Please tell me you're kidding. It's not that serious. Okay. I don't know whether to believe it or not. Okay, I got to take it. I thought it was D's calf. Somebody said it was something else yesterday, ankle. See,
Everything I've heard was D4's calf. That's everything I've heard so far was D4.
Somebody said ankle yesterday. It's his calf. There's nothing wrong with his ankle. Because ankles take forever to heal.
I think it's Brunskill or somebody that got an ankle, or one of our offensive linemen.
No, it's Garland. Harold, see?
Oh, Garland. Yeah, you're right, Garland.
Like you said, anything that can't go wrong, but you got both your centers. We didn't have. Weston Richburg refuses to stay healthy. And then you get Garland in there. It's doing an adequate job. He comes up with an ankle. Now you got a guy in there that DJ Jones just B-slaps around all afternoon and morning long. He can't center. If he can't stop anybody, now you got Brunskill working out at the center position. Oh, no.
Yeah.
God dang.
Our best player on the offense, George Kittle, he's gonna sit out, for I don't know, tightness or something like that. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback of our defense, Fred Warner, get COVID. It's like, well, I mean, come on, man. Like, what's the deal? Like, we need to get some of these second player reps. I'm gonna go with Dion. I think coach is sitting all these guys out on purpose to make sure he already knows what spot they're gonna play. They're gonna be starters at week one. Let's get them out. Let's keep them healthy.
No, Shanahan said that already. And that's why I've said I don't think that I think if you had to go, if Nick and D had to go today, they probably would. But you don't, if they got a little ouchie or a little ache, don't extend it. There's no need to right now. Those guys know what they're doing. They don't need any extra reps. Let them rest. And George Kittle, that's the last guy that needs any extra reps. Let him take a break. Somebody's doing better now that somebody else is out. I forgot somebody who's taking a break has improved somebody else's performance because they're getting more reps. Maybe Solomon T. Pettis. It's Pettis. Harold, is Pettis going to bring his lunch to work this year? I mean, Dante.
It looks like he is.
Yeah.
It looks like he is. All the reports are saying he's one of our best receivers that's healthy right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think him and Trent Taylor, and well, of course KB, because KB never gets hurt. But those look like the best three that are healthy right now.
And I'm not hearing anything about Trent Taylor. You know what? I think Trent Taylor. I think Kyle is also taking a cautionary a path with him too. He's not. You don't hear about Trent Taylor every day. In fact, you never hear anything about Trent Taylor. But I guarantee you, Trent Taylor is starting on opening day, right? Kyle is really.
Trent Taylor will probably lead our team in catches this year. I bet.
But Kyle's being smart this year. Remember the first year when everybody went down because he was working them hard, and Kyle had this philosophy about, well, if they're not used to contact before the season starts, I don't want them to start trying to get used to contact on week one. Kyle, man, don't have them dudes out there hitting hard right now. Sure enough, it backfired. For as smart as he is, sometimes he does need to be overruled. And this new group of guys that come in, the health and fitness guys, they lean back on that stuff now. And Kyle might have learned too. But now he's bubble wrapping players. You notice that?
Yeah. He needs to, man. He needs to. We need to stay healthy. We need to make sure we're ready for week one and firing all cylinders, man. We want to start off the this year as healthy as possible, man. And if he's got to keep people out of practice, that's what we need to do. So I'm cool with it if that's what's going on.
Because, I saw Derwin James 6 to 8 months. Oh, my God. You know how bad the Chargers need Derwin James? See, that's why I say we look at our situation. We're not as bad as some people. We did lose a wide receiver everybody wants to
Hurd.
see. Yeah.
Jalen Hurd.
But that's it. Lucky.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ronbo, I'm going to get out of here, man. I hadn't called you since DeForest got traded. I think that was the last time I called you.
Yeah, that's
I had to get in
Harold.
and talk to you since I heard about Fred Bortner. So.
Yeah, but the good times getting ready to roll, Harold. So, we can look for you all season long from here on. And
you know what? I was almost afraid that we weren't going to have a season, so I was hesitant to call. I've always been listening, but I was like, ooh, I don't know if we're going to have a season, but I think we're going to pull through.
Harold, we can have a season, Harold. Yes. I'll see. Yeah. If you get a chance, get on back here tomorrow, and something good's going to happen tomorrow. Practice is going to be crazy good and that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
All right, man.
All right, fam. Have a good night.
All right. I'll holler at you later.
All right. Looking forward. And Jose, let me know. Hey, Jose, let me know when you get back in here and tell me and laugh about Leonard Fournette. Oh, here he is. The man, definitely if doctors were going to prescribe something for the 49er empire right now, it would be a chill pill. Phil, get on in here, man, and make me feel good like you always do. Yes, indeed.
So my bet on Fred is that he was probably around someone who had COVID, because I think they would have been gone through the team like a wildfire, testing everybody.
Yes.
Trying to figure out who has it and who doesn't if he actually tested positive. I also think they would have said he tested positive if that were true. So
they at
it's
least
going to be
can tell
5
that, right?
days. It's going to be 5 days incubation period, and then he gets tested. If he tests negative, he'll be back on the field. So
I bet that's right.
I'm not worried about it at all.
Phil, you're right.
As
If he did test positive, they could say that. They won't tell you anything else. But they could say that Fred Warner tested positive. They didn't say that.
They usually say he tested positive. Because in the other cases on other teams, that's what they've done. But if they don't test positive, then they go into protocol for 5 days.
All right. There you
so
go.
I think that's where he's at.
Fred will be back by this weekend.
I mean, I'm not positive on this thing, but I think that's where he's at.
I want you to be positive, Phil. I like that news.
All
okay.
Hey, as
We'll
far
back
as
Saturday afternoon.
Kinlaw goes, I mean, when did for example, Eric Armstead have his best year? It was like year 4, wasn't it, or something like that? He had a couple bad years. He was injured.
Yep. After they told him they weren't going to pick up his 5th-year option. Yep.
Yeah, and Solly, this is his 4th year, so, maybe he's going to have a breakout year. But, it takes time for guys to develop into the pro speed, and I've seen it time and time again. It doesn't happen overnight. You rarely get a Nick Bosa. You rarely get a Nick Bosa.
Yeah, Nick Bosa.
It comes out of the,
Who's the other first-year guy that came in shooting guns? Yeah, Nick's about the only guy that just came right out of school and onto the NFL field like it was no big deal. Yeah.
I mean, you had guys like Ronnie Lott going way back, but
Who else?
as soon as he was drafted, he was starting. So, and playing pro ball, playing football. But anyway, it doesn't happen all the time. Usually, guys take time to develop, and I think Kinlaw may take a half a year, before he starts, busting up things and playing to where we want him. But it's going to take some time. It's not going to be right off the bat. Hey, I did get a text, though, from the 49ers saying they wanted pictures of people for cardboard. Saying, I was thinking I'm going to send your picture in, Ronbo. I could just see that. 70,000 Rombos, cardboard Rombos in the stadium. I think that would be cool.
Oh, God. Because I'm thinking, man, this is going to be, you look up in those stands, and from a distance, you can't really tell immediately what it is. And that's good. So
Yeah.
you do get the feeling of the fans. You're going to pump in the crowd noise. For viewing, it's going to be pretty much nothing changes depending on who's on the sound system as far as pumping up that noise. So it should be funny.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was thinking send your picture in. You're more photogenic than I am.
Oh, God, that's the silliness.
But, I do have some good news to talk about. I mean, Debo's been running on the sideline for sprints.
Yes.
You've got Ayuk also doing that.
Wait, whoa, Phil. Have you heard about Ayuk? Is he out there running already?
Yes, he is running. Both guys were running on the sideline.
Maybe it's just a slight strain. Maybe not a complete pull.
Yeah, I think they're going to be ready for week 1, honestly.
God. Think of that. Phil, think about that. Will you please?
I'm worried about one. I'm not overconfident. Arizona always plays us tough.
And they've got
it's
some
an empty
weapons,
stadium.
Phil.
We don't know.
Oh,
yeah, they do. So, we got to be have our A game for that. It's a divisional game. Divisional games are usually tougher. So anyway,
I feel honestly, I'm more afraid of the Cardinals than I am any other team in the division. I'm not the Hawks don't scare me. The Rams for sure don't scare anybody. But my goodness, they got Kyler Murray out there moving like a bullet everywhere, and he's got accuracy on his shots. Kyler Murray shoots that ball exactly the way you're supposed to do it. So now he's got Hopkins. He's got Larry. I love to play the 49ers. Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
He's got that other wide receiver.
And then he's got the other guy.
He's got I forget his name, Kenyon Drake. Oh, who's that running? Is that Drake? Who's the running back? Drake is the wide receiver.
Drake.
Yeah, he just did a number on us last year. I think we've improved.
Although he's injured right now.
What?
He's on their injury list.
Oh,
Drake's on their injury list.
No, we're supposed to want the best they have.
I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. They said he was kind of questionable for week 1.
Ooh.
That's what I read on the press report. So
good.
You might not see him.
I feel better already. Because honestly,
everybody's got injury.
Yeah, I know. We're not. Yeah, that's why we need to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. We're not alone, and everybody's in the same bag. As I mentioned, Derwin James is out for the season. 6 to 8 weeks or 6 to 8 months. Ooh.
Yeah, well, he's been injured quite a bit in his career so
he
far.
can't stay healthy.
So anyway.
I just can't wait to
Ronbo.
See. Yeah. We're going to find out.
Just relax. We'll be fine.
Let me have another sip.
And if you see yourself in the stands, you know where it came from.
I'll know how I got there. Phil brought me to the game. Phil, you're insane, man. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. If we have any bad news, Phil, you got to hustle in here, man. I was waiting for you to come in today. So good. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night, Phil.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Touche. Okay.
So your clock's in the garbage. Take the batteries out your watches. Batteries out your watches, baby. You know what time it is. Let's go, Ronbo.
Wait. Mel, just as soon as Phil said something, Drake's having problems. Laser US, who's a hardcore Cardinal fan, who's been on my feeds and telling me how good the Cardinals were, even last year, says that Drake is fine. You know what? I want that. I don't want the 49ers to beat up on the Cardinals and they weren't full strength. I want, because that way people say, man, the only reason why y'all beat the Cardinals because the running back wasn't there. So, let's bring him in and let's whip his butt too. We owe him from last year. But Mel, go ahead, man. I just want to make that point because I saw that. You got the
no doubt.
Fred Warner, and you probably already knew what Phil just said because I wasn't aware of the fact that they normally say if a player has tested positive or not. They didn't say that. They just said what they said, and we're not allowed to give any more further status than that. And then, and Mel, I know you got some feelings on J.K. Kinlaw, and what do you expect? But go ahead.
All right, so first and foremost, with this whole COVID deal, I think we should all just calm down a little bit. Right before I came into work yesterday, the television was on, and there was an NBA game playing. So baseball and basketball are still going on despite all of this stuff happening. So there's no need for everybody to start panicking and talking about, oh, I don't know if they're going to have a season or finish the season. Calm down, man. We're watching the blueprints right now. So until there's no season, there's a season.
Yes.
So, don't speak this stuff into
existence. Yeah.
And secondly, with Fred Warner, there were a whole bunch of false positives that transpired. What was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Or maybe a month ago or so?
Just a few days
there
ago.
were a whole bunch of false positives. And all of them came from the same lab, unfortunately, from where I'm from in New Jersey. So it had something to do with the lab. So, until it's solidified, all right, this guy has it, he definitely has it, there's no need to panic. This whole panicking it gives everybody anxiety unnecessarily.
Thank you.
It is what it is until it isn't. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a season. These guys aren't taking all of these precautions and practicing and all of that for no reason. So until they say the NFL is done, let's just stop even speaking that into existence, ladies and gents, and stop panicking. So as far as Fred, man, I hope everything is going well. I hope that he doesn't have it, number one, and I hope that it doesn't spread throughout our locker room. I think we'll be fine. No news is good news. So, but he'll definitely be ready for week one, no matter what. Even if he does have it, he'll be ready for week one, and we'll be fine in that way. As far as Javon Kinlaw goes, bro, he's a rookie. See, this is, as 49ers fans, we've been spoiled, like super duper spoiled. We've been spoiled with Super Bowls because with our organization is bowl or bust. We don't care about second place. You don't get any trophies for that. You don't get any kudos for that.
Division
just like we lost to the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Useless.
Right.
Yeah.
It's bowl or bust. Yeah. And also we've been spoiled as, it may have been Phil who brought this up, Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott comes in 1981, first-round draft. He was actually drafted because our defensive backfield was trash. So in that same year, Bill Walsh in the first 3 rounds grabbed Ronnie Lott, Eric Wright, and who else did he grab that year?
What a haul, though. You bring in Wright
and Lott
right at the same time. What are you, man?
Right. And the other defensive back, what's his name? We already had Dwight Hicks. So because we had 4 Pro Bowl defensive backs. They all went to the 85 Pro Bowl from the 84 season. I can't believe I'm drawing a brain for it right now.
I thought Keena Turner was a defensive back.
Nah, he was a linebacker.
He is a linebacker.
Yeah, number 58. Keena was our linebacker. I think he still works in our front offices.
Yeah, and God, Keena was like a streamlined fat. He was like the prototype of the future. But they used him effectively though. Keena could cover, kill the middle, but Keena was bad. But yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure
Keena was ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time.
I'm not sure who else he drafted that year though.
But the other defensive back, Carlton Williamson. We grabbed Carlton Williamson. All of those guys, we grabbed all of them because our defensive backfield was trash. So we grabbed all of those guys in 81. All 3 of them came in, and like I said, we already had Dwight Hicks. We grabbed him, I think, the year before, who was also from Pennsauken High School in New Jersey, where my brother went, which is the reason I'm a Niners fan in the first place. He and John Taylor both went to my brother's high school.
And from that year on, it was Dwight Hicks and the hot licks.
Right. Then we had Julian Peterson came in. His rookie season went crazy. Frank Gore rookie season went crazy. Patrick Willis, all pro, his rookie season. So we're used to having these guys come in and immediately be at upper echelon players. So we kind of get spoiled with that type of stuff. So it's like when these guys, and then of course, most recently, Nick Bosa comes in as a rookie. There were a lot of fans complaining when we grabbed him. They said he's injury prone. Some people were saying he's racist. There was a whole bunch of stuff. Nah, we shouldn't get him. People were upset that we got him. Then he missed summer camp because of injury. Yeah, see, I told you he's injury prone. Then he comes in and he's the number 1 defensive rookie in all of football. So we're kind of used to that. So when guys don't come in and have that immediate all-pro season, it's like we want to write him off as bust. Javon Kinlaw has all the tools that we need, and he's going to be better at that position than DeForest Buckner. You have my word. We just can't expect that from him week 1. The dude has been getting by off of his raw power and his athleticism because he was that much better, bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody he played with. But NFL, all of those guys were the captains of their teams. All of those guys were All-Americans and all of that. So he can't just rely on his raw natural ability at this level. But if you think this guy doesn't have the tools to come in, and if you don't think he's constantly learning to add the cerebral aspect of his game, then you don't know football. He's not going to get frustrated. He's driven. This dude is a maniac. He's not going to allow something like he's getting beat during camp by veteran offensive linemen to deter him from his ultimate goal. He's getting better and better and better every day, and he's learning new things. He's learning what he can and can't get away with on this level. So we can't expect him to have everything week one, but you better know he's going to get better every single week. You have to know that. And you'll start to see it happen. So it's going to be a very similar situation to what we saw with our offensive rookies last year. By the middle of the season, I would say it's more like a Dre Greenlaw situation, where you see the guy has natural ability, he can come in and get it done, but toward the end of the season, the middle of the end, when it all starts to come together mentally for him, you're going to see that this guy is an absolute monster.
You got my vote. I mean, if you're running for an office right now, Mel, you are in. Man, I'm telling you about, because these are the things that you know, you can't expect everybody to come in like Nick Bosa. He's a freak. DeForest Buckner came in. He was amazing. Never gets hurt. You know, Debo, another guy that you got to put on that list of prodigies. Debo, by the middle of the season,
with Debo
didn't
catch
people.
fire until midseason.
Yeah, he took him a few weeks. Yeah, but after that, he could have easily been the Super Bowl 54 MVP.
Right.
If Shanahan had the wherewithal, the Chiefs had no answer. Good God, give him the ball, Kyle. So you know.
Right. And last thing, and this is more comparable too. We're talking about Nick Bosa and how great of a rookie season he had. But again, we were questioning him from the beginning as far as injuries and all of that. But if you recall, Nick Bosa didn't really become Nick Bosa, and he wasn't really productive. He wasn't getting sacks early in the season. It wasn't until that breakout game, I think, versus the Browns, where he started, where the sacks started rolling in. Because early in the season, if you remember, he was getting to the quarterback, but he wasn't able to get any type of sacks. But when he played Baker Mayfield, it was his coming out party.
He was so inspired.
I suspect that Javon Kinlaw will be very similar.
I know. I hope somebody in the college ranks on some team pissed Kinlaw off, and we play them early in the season because God knows Nick was a man. I mean, he was possessed that game about nailing Baker Mayfield behind what happened versus Ohio State.
Right.
Look at Nick. I don't know about this history.
But before that game, if you remember, in all his post-game interviews, everybody's asking him the same thing. Oh, well, you've been getting to the quarterback, but you haven't been able to quite get there in time. When do you think it's all going to come together? They were asking him. They were asking Robert Saleh and everything. So, you know, I suspect it'll be very similar.
And don't forget, Jameis clowned him. He got, like you said, he got there, and Jameis put a move on him, went right by him, still threw the ball. Nick has learned a lot since last year, and to add to that, as good as we thought he was, he got even better mid-season, like you're saying, though. Because at the beginning of the year, he had some things to learn, and that's what happens. So defensive lineman, because I said people are already putting Javon Kinlaw in the same sentence with Solomon Thomas, and that kind of worried me. And then I read on in that article, and I said, okay, that's true. Well, you know what? How about he didn't have a regular season? I started coming up with reasoning, and I'm thinking now it's normal for a defensive lineman. Normal football players that are going to be good don't necessarily mean that they have to come in being good from day one. So, yeah, it's okay to be patient. And I agree. Yeah.
Right. No doubt. Yep.
All right.
So, yeah, man, everybody needs to calm down a little bit. Pull your jets, man. Yeah. We're spoiled, like I said, bro. We're spoiled.
I know.
We got too many legends who came in legendary already.
That's it. Unlike some of these people in the chat, we've got too many trophies in our showcase. We're used to winning. Even when we're losing, we do it in style because we're an organization of pure class. We know what we're doing. And that's why we don't expect and tolerate failure like some of these other people.
Right.
Kansas City, I mean Seattle, they're used to having nothing.
Yeah.
So, all right. Will,
No doubt. All right, Ronbo.
Mel, I'm going to see you tomorrow,
I'll catch you, yes, sir. I'll catch you tomorrow, man. Have a good night. And thanks again, bro. I love the show.
Oh,
I love
thanks.
you as a person, man.
Nah.
Seriously.
And you know how I feel about you,
and I
Mel.
truly
Thanks.
appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, fam.
Yeah. And I love all of y'all out there, too, man. The Niner gang, man. I love y'all. Even when we disagree about things, the love is still there. So, let's get this 6, man. Like I said, let's turn this clutch to 6 into the stairway to 7.
It is. I like that. Mel, that's a song I've heard before. I like it. Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, no doubt.
Stairway to 7. Oh, Mel, look at you,
Yep.
Mel. A poet. You didn't even know
doubt,
it.
bro.
I love it. See you tomorrow, Mel.
Jimmy and the Jet. Jimmy and the Jet, baby. Jet McKinnon is back. All right, bro.
He did it again. Cal, man, don't get him started. Mel, have a good night, fam. Fam, we're going to be okay. I'm glad that we had this talk. I feel so much better. I think I'm going to order a pizza. Well, I got some in the refrigerator I need to reheat, but it's got pineapple on it. I don't like pineapple on my pizza. But anyway, fam, tomorrow night, and what was that Scarlett O'Hara said as Brett left out? Oh, for tomorrow, it'll be a better day. I just know it. Fam, don't be that like. Subscribe. Haters, you better be subscribed. I forgot to check them out yesterday before I give them the boot.